5 ओके 5 होचे हमर यूनियन एग्जीक्यूटिव ओके पार्ट 5 डील्स विथ यूनियन एग्जीक्यूटिव ओके जोटा कि आर्टिकल 52 रु 78 जाए कवर होची ठीक अछि सॉरी ठीक चलो देन द यूनियन एग्जीक्यूटिव रे की रहउछंती प्रेसिडेंट मन रखो प्रेसिडेंट वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ओके प्राइम मिनिस्टर काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर एंड अटॉर्नी जनरल सेमी जतल तुम पढ़ियो स्टेट एग्जीक्यूटिव रे ये रहबेनी बिकॉज़ देयर इज नो वाइस गवर्नर ओके गवर्नर चीफ मिनिस्टर काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर एडवोकेट जनरल स्टेट रहबो एडवोकेट जनरल ओके तो गवर्नर चैप्टर पढ़ला एमती ही आसीबो सीरियल रे ओके तो यूनियन एग्जीक्यूटिव का को ने की एग्जीक्यूटिव मीन्स द एग्जीक्यूशन बॉडी ओके गोटे होची लेजिस्लेचर जो माने कि लॉ बनौचंदी आ गोटे होची एग्जीक्यूटिव ओके एग्जीक्यूटिव पुनी दी प्रकार गोटे होची परमानेंट आ गोटे होची टेम्पररी हैला ए माने होचंदी टेम्पररी एग्जीक्यूटिव ओके बिकॉज़ दे विल चेंज इन 5 इयर्स परमानेंट एग्जीक्यूटिव को माने हमर जो माने सिविल सर्वेंट्स ओके ए माने होचंदी परमानेंट एग्जीक्यूटिव these executives are actually temporary they will change president will change in 5 years government will change so minister will change okay vice president will change council of ministers will change and they will appoint a different attorney general okay so they are union executives but they are temporary in nature okay then president is the head of the indian state okay eta mon rakho prime minister is not the head of the state okay president is the head of the state prime minister is the head of the government okay government ro head hochundi prime minister but state ro head hochundi president okay and why he is the head of the state we will get to know तांको नारे सबु बिल होची तांको नारे माने बिल रो फाइनल अथॉरिटी होचंदी प्रेसिडेंट जे कि साइन कले सेट एक्ट होची जेते हम इंटरनेशनल एग्रीमेंट करूचंदी वी कंक्लूड इन द नेम ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट ओके सो सेतिमे नाम को होची हेड ऑफ द स्टेट ओके एंड ही इज द फर्स्ट सिटीजन यू नो एंड द सिंबल ऑफ यूनिटी इंटीग्रिटी एंड सॉलिडारिटी ऑफ द नेशन राइट तो ये कौन कौन मन रखियार अच्छी who are in the union executive okay remember president vice president prime minister council of minister and the attorney general of india okay he is nothing but the government वकील जाको हम कहउछन एडवोकेट गवर्नमेंट एडवोकेट ओके जे कि गवर्नमेंट को रिप्रेजेंट करंदी सुप्रीम कोर्ट हाई कोर्ट रे okay so attorney general president vice president prime minister and the council of minister they are the union executive it is in part 5 okay union executive and president is the head of the state it is also important he is the first citizen and he represents the unity integrity and solidarity of the nation right next election of the president who are all the electoral college जाको हमें कहउछन को माने president को elect करंती okay president is elected not directly you know okay he is not directly elected हम तंग वोट दो नांती की वोट दोची the elected members of both the house of the parliament okay elected members lok sabha और राज्य सभा रो okay then elected members of legislative assembly of the state जोड़ा को हमें एमएलए बोली कहउछन एमएलएस those who are elected okay and elected members of legislative assemblies of union territories of delhi and pondicherry okay puducherry so counts union legislative assembly ro members elected legislative assembly ro member elected state ro and elected members of both the house means what जो माने कि nominated members of both the house they are not participating okay out amro legislative assembly छाडले आउट अछि legislative council okay किछि किछि स्टेट रे अछि bicameral legislative council for example in karnataka okay for example in uttar pradesh they also don't participate in the election of the president okay तो एटा very important मन रखियो क्वेश्चन आसे prelims रे कि elected members of lok sabha and rajya sabha elected members of legislative assemblies of states and the elected members of assemblies of union territories of delhi and puducherry they all participate in the election process of president okay तो एडा मन रखियो टिके टिके यूनिफॉर्मिटी इन द स्केल ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ डिफरेंट स्टेट ओके द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रोवाइड्स दैट देयर शैल बी यूनिफॉर्मिटी इन द स्केल ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटेशन एंड हाउ इट विल बी वी विल सी ओके एंड एज वेल एज पैरिटी बिटवीन स्टेट्स एज ए होल एंड एज ए यूनियन केमिति हमें एजल वोट को मानकर वोट केते जल हम देखियो सेडू जानिबा जे हाउ यूनिफॉर्मिटी एंड पैरिटी इज मेंटेन ओके सो वैल्यू ऑफ एमएलए हम केमिति डिसाइड करंती को एमएलए रा केते वैल्यू बिकॉज़ एमएलए एंड एमपी जो माने इलेक्टेड से माने वोट देबे ओके राज्यसभा लोकसभा एमाने होचन स्टेट और यूनियन टेरिटरी तो गोटे एमएलए रो केते वोट कि पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द स्टेट डिवाइडेड बाय द नंबर ऑफ इलेक्टेड मेंबर्स इन द स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली फॉर एग्जांपल ओडिसा रो पॉपुलेशन धर आमे नबा 1 लाख okay divided by total number of elected members in the state okay for example total number of elected member is 100 okay into 1000 आमे करूछंदी so that the number will be small okay तो एटी केते हबो 1000 divided by 1000 equals to 1 okay तो 1 गोटे एमएलए रो वोट होची 1 जदि माने एटा गोटे कैलकुलेशन जदि हम कले ए टाइप रो सो दिस इज हाउ दैट इट विल बी कैलकुलेटेड टोटल पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द स्टेट okay for example odisha total population divided by the total number of elected members in our state legislative assembly for example that is 100 into ame 1000 taku divide koruchundi so that the number will be small okay so accordingly the number will be so definitely प्रति एमएलए रो वोट डिफरेंट हबो ओडिसा रो गोटे एमएलए रो वोट जति की यूपी रो गोटे एमएलए रो वोट सेति हबोनी है ना because population is different and the number of elected MLAs are also different yes or no so different MLAs will have different votes okay in presidential election but when we will go to count the vote of an MP okay value of an MP this is nothing but the total value of votes of all the MLAs of all the states okay for example gote MLA ro odisha re vote hochi 10 into odisha ro total elected MLA dhara hochandi 100 सेमतिया गोटे एमएलए रो वोट धरा होची यूपी रे 12 इनटू द टोटल नंबर ऑफ फॉर एग्जांपल 400 सेमतिया सब स्टेट रो काउंट करके ताको ऐड करिवो तमे okay that is the total value of votes of all MLAs of all the states divided by total number of elected members of parliament that means total number of elected members of lok sabha plus rajya sabha okay that will be the vote of that will be the vote of an MP okay so सबु एमपी रो वोट होची समान he may or may be he may be from Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha every MP will carry equal number of votes but every MLA will carry different number of votes okay because smaller states different states bigger states so सेति पे कहछि कि parity जो state बड़ सेठी MLA रो वोट तुमको अधिका पाइबो जो स्टेट छोटो सेठी गोटे MLA रो वोट तुमको कम मिले that means parity is maintained okay uniformity is maintained how because every MP has equal vote okay be it from the MP is from Odisha or the MP is from Rajasthan or the MP is from UP सबु MP रो vote होची समान but सबु MLA रो vote होची different okay that is how uniformity and parity is maintained बुझलो बे okay so the president election is held in accordance with the okay system of proportional representation कौन पे आपको कहउचंडी okay by means of single transferable vote and the voting is by secret ballot this system ensures that the successful candidate is returned by absolute majority vote एवडे तुम पढे दरकार नै मु जस्ट तुमको कहि दोची केमिति हुए presidential election okay धर एटी फॉर एग्जांपल जेमति देछि कि टोटल नंबर ऑफ वैलिड वोट पोल्ड बाय 1 + 1 + 1 माने धर टोटल वोट पोल हैला 1000 ओके धर दी जण कंटेस्टिंग कैंडिडेट अछंदी तो जणे जदि 501 मिनिमम वोट पाइबो देन ओनली ही विल बी द विनर एमएलए एमपी वोट रे कोन हुए धर 100 टा वोट अछि 5 टा कैंडिडेट अछंदी हैला समस्त को धर 20 20 टा वोट पड़ला जणको 21 टा पड़ला जणको 19 टा पड़ला ओके सो जी 21 टा वोट पाइछि ताको हम विनर बोली डिक्लेयर कर दोचंदी एठी तुमको 51 टा वोट आने दरकार नै जितिया पे बट इन प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन कौन हम तुम जिते जन कंटेस्ट कर धर 5 जन कंटेस्ट करुँच 100 टोटल भोट आई मीन फॉर एग्जांपल 1000 टोटल भोट किंतु ये 5 जन टोटल कंटेस्ट करुँच स्टिल ये कौन हम तुमको 1000 डिवाइडेड बाय 2 + 1 भोट आनियार अच्छी माने मिनिमम 501 भोट जन आनले ही से जितिबो तो ये कौन हम धर 5 जन छिड़ा आइछंदी 1 2 3 4 5 5 जन कंटेस्ट करुँच ओके भोट पड़ी यांकु भोट पड़ी 20 टा यांकु पड़ी धर 100 टा यांकु पड़ी 200 टा यांकु पड़ी 400 टा हला एमि सब भोट पड़ी फॉर एग्जांपल तो कौन करा हबो ये होचंदी हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ वोटिंग जे जाको मिली 400 तापर देखा हबो सबुठु लोएस्ट काकू मिलिछि यांकू मिलिछि 20टा भोट तो यांको भोट देखा हबो तुम जले यांकू भोट दबो एमती नाही जे एठी तमे एक को भोट देकी पळेलो जतो तुम जो भोट दबो से कार्ड थिबो 1 2 3 4 5 तमे एठी दबो प्रेफरेंस तमे 1 को देचो फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस तो एठी धर आकू देचो सेकंड प्रेफरेंस याकू धर देचो थर्ड प्रेफरेंस हला तो या भोट काउंट हला परे देखा जिवो कि तमे सेकंड रे काकू देचो एठी भोट तमे धर 3 को देचो तो ए भोटटा जाय कि इथरे मिसिबो बुझि पालो एमिति करी करी निया हबो जो जीए फर्स्ट रे 501 रे पहुंचबो सी हबो विनर ओके सो ए जो इलेक्शन इट्स नॉट लाइक एमएलएमपी इलेक्शन एठी तुमको एब्सोल्यूट मेजॉरिटी आनियार अछि जेतकी भोट धदी 100टा भोट अछि टोटल तुमको 51टा भोट आनियार अछि देन ओनली यू विल बी विनर ओके 5 जण कैंडिडेट कंटेस्ट करंतु 10 जण करंतु 2 जण करंतु यू हैव टू गेट एब्सोल्यूट मेजॉरिटी वोट okay absolute majority number of votes then only you will be declared as winner right एटा क्वेश्चन आसेनी जस्ट तुमको बुझाया पे हम कहली ओके एटा गोटे इंपोर्टेंट पॉइंट कि all the doubts and disputes in connection with election of the president are inquired into and decided by Supreme Court whose decision is final okay तो election dispute जहाँ भी हबो तारा final who is the authority who will decide all the disputes and all it is Supreme Court okay this is important you must remember for prelims and if the election of a person as president is declared void जदि धर पर डिक्लेयर हला जे ये किछि माल प्रैक्टिस करिक जण जिति जंती प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन ओके by the Supreme Court acts done by him before the date of such declaration of the Supreme Court are not invalidated and continue to remain in force okay for example mu declare हे गली president okay किए जाय कि फाइल कला केस देन केस चलला 4 मास परे धर डिक्लेयर हला कि मु किछि गोटे माल प्रैक्टिस करिक इलेक्शन जीतिथि ओके तो जैसे 4 मास रे जहां भी मु किछि भी एक्शन नै छी जहां भी कोन करि छी that will not be invalidated okay that will continue to remain in force only when it will be invalidated if the other member जे पुनी नेक्स्ट आसीबो जदि से ताको इनवैलिडेट करि करि जीवो then only से एक्ट इनवैलिडेट otherwise it will continue correct साउंड क्लियर अछि ना सुबुत समस्त किछि इश्यू नै
Yes, sir.
Okay then why constitution makers choose indirect election okay there are few reasons तो मेडा पढिबो एडा एते किसी इंपोर्टेंट नै neither for prelims nor for mains के आसीबोनी कोन मेगी there are I mean बहुत सारा रीजन अछि ताकू जस्ट कंपाइलेशन करी किस रीजन कराई छि कि it will be माने प्रेसिडेंट होचंती नॉमिनल एग्जीक्यूटिव he is not the real executive you know it is parliamentary democracy where prime minister is the real executive so जेहेतु प्रेसिडेंट नॉमिनल एग्जीक्यूटिव आ तांगा पाखरे किछि रियल पावर नाही ओके सब किछि रियल पावर अछि काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर पाखरे सेथिबे प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन को डायरेक्ट कराइनी okay and if it will be direct election it will be very costly okay it will be time and energy consuming and it is very costly ये सब आखे रखी प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन को डायरेक्ट कराइनी इनडायरेक्ट कराइ ओके मु जोडी जोडी मार्क करिछि से को मार्क करो दोज आर very important apart from that तुम जस्ट ताको सिंपल रीडिंग करि करि जीवो okay the president system makes the president a representative of union and states equally okay जो प्रेजेंट सिस्टम हमर अछि जो वे हम तांगर वोटिंग करौचंदी okay the way we are providing voting numbers to MLAs and MPs okay and the way we are doing it as a indirect election it all makes the president a representative of union and states equally okay because union re MLA MPs man vote dele and states re madhya every state will have some I mean every MLA will carry some votes and they will also aggregate they are also participating in the election process so president represent both the union and the states equally okay next देखिया में what is the qualification एडा भी important आकु मन रखो हला qualification तंगर कोन कोन रहया दरकार if somebody is contesting for president he should be a citizen of India okay citizen of India in terms of I mean either by birth okay or by naturalization हमर केते प्रकार सिटीजनशिप अछि 4-5 प्रकार तमे को भी वे रे सिटीजन हे था यू आर eligible to contest president okay this is not the case in US and all there you have to be by birth. କିଛି କିଛି ଦେଶରେ ଅଛି, not in US, but there are in some countries ki you have to be a citizen by birth. Okay, but in India it is not like that. You have to be a citizen of India, okay, either by birth or naturalization or any by any means. Okay, there are 4 or 5 legal means. You have to be a citizen of this country. Then you should have, your age should be more than 35 years of 35 years. You should be completed 35 years of age. Then he or she should be qualified for election as a member of Lok Sabha. Okay, you must be eligible to contest Lok Sabha election. Okay, or to be a member of Lok Sabha. Then you should not hold any office of profit. Office of profit means you should not get any profit from any other source apart from this. Okay, for example, you are a minister. Okay, then you have to resign from your ministry. For example, you are a government servant. Okay, then you have to resign from your job. Okay, that is called as office of profit. You must not hold any office of profit, then only you will be eligible for president. But in case of, for example, governor, ministers, prime ministers, for them this rule is not applicable. But once they are elected, they have to what, ତାଙ୍କୁ leave ମାନେ ଛାଡ଼ିବାର ଅଛି ସେ office. Okay, so you should be a citizen of this country. Your age should be more than 35 years. ଏଇଟା ମନେ ରଖିବ, these are important point. And you should be eligible to be a member of Lok Sabha, and you should not hold any office of profit. Okay, means you should not have any kind of profitable thing apart from this. Okay, this is the qualification. Then oath, president will take oath. Okay, what he will take, this is not important, but who is providing that oath? Okay, kiye president ko oath karebo, that is important. You must remember who will provide oath to president. Just a minute. Okay, the oath of the office to president is administered by the chief justice of India. Okay, this is important. You have to remember kiye president ko oath karauchi, chief justice of India, and in his absence the senior most judge of the Supreme Court. Okay, so who is giving oath to president? The chief justice of India. Okay, conditions of president's office. Okay, the constitution lays down following conditions of president's office. He should not be a member of either house of the, माने कौन तुमको condition अच्छी, on which apart from your qualification what conditions are there for president's office. Okay, he should not be a member of either house of the parliament or the house of state legislature. If you are, then you have to resign from there. Okay, once you enter the office of the president, you have to vacate that seat. Okay, if you are a member of parliament or state legislature, then you should not hold any office of profit podile. Okay, and what else the conditions? You are entitled to the, I means the president is entitled to the presidential bhavan, Rashtrapati Bhavan, without any rent and anything. Okay, and you are entitled to emoluments, allowances and privileges that are there for the president. Okay, will be decided by the parliament. Then these emoluments and the benefits that you will get, okay, should not be diminished during the term of your office. Okay, all the benefits that you get when you are entering the office should not be diminished when you are in that office. Okay, ମାନେ ତମେ ଏଣ୍ଟର କଲାଡୁ ଯଦି ତମେ ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ପାଇଁ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ ହେଲ, ତମେ ଯେବେ ଯାଇ ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ପଦରେ ଅଛ, ତମର କୌଣସି ବି allowances or ଯାହା ବି ତମେ ବେନିଫିଟ ପାଉଛ, କୋଉଥିରେ ବି କିଛି କମି କରାଇ ପାରିବନି during your tenure. Okay, important ଜିନିଷ ମୁଁ କହୁଛି. Okay, ତାକୁ just ତମେ ମାର୍କ କରି ଚାଲ. Okay, the president, term of the president. Okay, କେତେ ବର୍ଷ ପାଇଁ ସେ ରୁହନ୍ତି, କ'ଣ କରନ୍ତି? The term of the office is for 5 years. Okay, and in that period also he can resign from the post. Okay, by addressing the resignation letter to the vice president. तो एटा भी मन रख, रेजिग्नेशन लेटर से कागु देबे, भाइस प्रेसिडेंट को. ओके, तांगु ओथ किए करेबो, सीजीआई. ओके, further he can also be removed. He can resign by providing resignation letter to the vice president, and he can be also removed. Okay, se process ku kon कहंदी, process of impeachment. हम पढ़िबो what is that process. Okay, माने से निजे भी resign दे परिबे vice president को, तांकु impeachment process रे भी बाहर कराई परिबो. Okay, and president is in our country, president is eligible for re-election. Okay, for example this जे अछंती एबे द्रौपदी मुर्मू, सी आउ थरे भी प्रेसिडेंट ପାଇଁ ଲଢି ପାରିବେ. Okay, he is eligible for election for any number of times. Okay, 5 ଥର 7 ଥର 10 ଥର ହେଇପାରିବ, but in USA you can't be a president for more than 2 terms. ଓକେ, ତାଙ୍କର ସେଠି 4 ବର୍ଷ ଲେଖେ ଟର୍ମ ଅଛି, ଆଉ 2 ଥରରୁ ଅଧିକା ଜଣେ ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇପାରିବନି। ଓକେ, ଦିସ୍ ୟୁ ମଷ୍ଟ नो, ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଅଲସୋ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ। ଦେନ୍ ଇମ୍ପିଚମେଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରୋସେସ୍ କ'ଣ, ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ରିମୁଭାଲ ପ୍ରୋସେସ୍ କ'ଣ, ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ଦ କଣ୍ଡିସନ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ ଅଲ୍। ଓକେ, according to the constitution the president can be removed from the office by a process of impeachment for violation of the constitution. Okay, what is the violation of the constitution is not defined in the constitution, but the only condition to remove a president, to remove our president, is violation of the constitution. If he violates the constitution in any of his, by his act or anything. Just a second. Okay, जदि सी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को वायलेट करती by his act or anything, then only the impeachment procedure can be introduced or can be start against him. Okay, कौन प्रोसीजर एटा भी मन रखिबो। ओके, point by point. Okay, there are some important points. Look, first of all, the impeachment charges can be initiated by either house of the parliament. First point, impeachment procedure को भी house रे initiate हे परिबो। Okay, either in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. First point, मन रखो जे impeachment procedure can be initiated in either house of the parliament. Okay, but not in the state legislature. Okay, this is the first point. The charges should be signed by 1/4 of the member of the house. Okay, which form the charges. This is point number 2. Point number 2 कौन, जो house charge frame करिवो, for example लोक सभा रे charge frame हैला, okay, then 1/4 member of the house should sign that charge. Okay, कि जदि लोकसभा मेंबर होचंदी 545, देन तार 1/4 मेंबर जतिके भी मेंबर अछंती, एटा तो टोटल मेंबर हम कहली, धरा भी 500 मेंबर टोटल अछंती लोकसभा रे, तो तार 1/4 मेंबर साइन करियार अछि बिल रे, जोडा कि इम्पीचमेंट प्रोसीजर आसीबो प्रेसिडेंट अगेंस्ट रे। ओके, थर्ड पॉइंट, तांकु 14 days रो नोटिस दिया हबो। ओके, 14 days नोटिस शुड बी गिवन टू द प्रेसिडेंट, ओके, सो दैट ही कैन आल्सो प्रेजेंट हिमसेल्फ बिफोर द कमिटी। ओके, दिस इज द थर्ड पॉइंट। फर्स्ट पॉइंट कोन, it can be initiated in either house. Second hochi, it should be signed by 1/4 member of the house which initiate the charges. Third point hochi, 14 days notice period should be given to the president. Okay, after impeachment resolution is passed by a majority of 2/3 of the total membership of the house, it is sent to the other house. Fourth point kono, it should be passed by 2/3 majority, not absolute majority. It is 2/3 majority, means if the total number of member, for example राज्य सभा रे इनिशिएट हला 1/4 member साइन कले जितके अछंती, for example 200 member अछंती, ओके, राज्य सभा रे for example, तो एटलिस्ट 50 जन मेंबर साइन कले ही बिल इनिशिएट हबो। ओके, then it should be passed by 2/3 member, 2/3 of 200. Okay, means it will be something around 132 133 something like that. Okay, एतिकी मेंबर भोट कले ही बिल पास हबो, माने तांको अगेंस्ट जो चार्ज इम्पीचमेंट प्रोसीजर पास हबो राज्यसभा रे, देन इट विल गो टू द other house, that means to Rajya Sabha. Okay, the president has the right to appear and to be represented in such investigation. Okay, so fourth fifth point kono, president has the right to appear and to be represented in such investigation. Okay, first thila kono, impeachment can be initiated in either house. Second point, it should be signed by 1/4 member of the house. Okay, which the house which initiates the procedure. Third is 14 days notice period should be given to president. Fourth, after the impeachment resolution is passed, it must be passed by 2/3 majority. Okay. Fifth point is president has the right to appear and to represent in such investigation. Okay. Then sixth point is, if the other house also sustain the charges and pass the impeachment resolution by a majority of 2/3 members, then the president stands removed. Okay, this is the sixth point. Sixth point kono, जदि other house मध्ये तांकु दोषी मानिला and 2/3 majority रे bill pass कला, okay, then the president stands removed. Then president is impeached. Okay, he is removed from his post. मन रहिला, this is the
Very
complete.
good to
हाँ.
Two-third member are present and voting total strength ର
No, no, no. Total strength ର 2/3 majority, not present and voting. ଓକେ, ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ବୁଝେଇଲି ନା, ଯଦି ଧର 200 ମେମ୍ବର ଅଛନ୍ତି ହେଲା, ଯଦି ସେଦିନ 150 ବି ମେମ୍ବର ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଦେନ୍ ଅଲସୋ 132 or 133 ଯେତିକି ହବ 2/3, ଓକେ, ଏତିକି ଭୋଟ ତାଙ୍କର ଇମ୍ପିଚମେଣ୍ଟ ସପୋର୍ଟରେ ହବାର ଅଛି। ଓକେ, 2/3 ମେମ୍ବର୍ସ ମାନେ ଭୋଟିଂ ହବାର ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କ ସପୋର୍ଟରେ, ବିଲ୍ ସପୋର୍ଟରେ। ଓକେ, ସେ ଏହା କହୁନି ନା ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ଇନ୍ ଭୋଟିଂ, ସେ କହୁଛି ସଷ୍ଟେନ୍ସ ଦ ଚାର୍ଜ and passes the impeachment resolution by a majority of 2/3 of the total membership. Okay, so this is the extraordinary situation. Other jete bhi amar absolute majority achi setre kon thae 2/3 member present and voting, but total membership ro it should be majority of total membership, means more than half of the total membership. Here the voting should be more than 2/3 member of the total membership of the house. Okay, then only the president will be impeached. So president impeachment ku ଟିକେ tough situation ରେ ରଖା ହେଇଛି, otherwise it will be easy na, you can remove the president at whims and your wishes and whims. Okay, so president cannot be impeached in a very simple kind of uh, majority. Okay, if you want to impeach the president, you must have 2/3 members support. Okay, total strength or 2/3 members support. Clear? Thus, it is an quasi-judicial procedure. Okay, because kind of judiciary, na, it will be passed through one house. Then, president also have the opportunity to represent himself. Okay, present himself and support his, I mean, stand. He can speak his side. Okay, so it is the procedure is also kind of quasi-judicial procedure. Okay, in the parliament and. In this contest, dita jinso tamku mon rakhyar achi, two things should be noted. One is the nominated members of either house of the parliament can participate in impeachment of the president, though they do not participate in his election. Okay, election re komane participate korthile, kebol elected members. Okay, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state and union territory. There are only elected member president ro election re participate korthile. But impeachment re state ଆଉ ୟୁନିୟନ ଟେରିଟୋରୀ କୌଣସି ମେମ୍ବର ପାର୍ଟିସିପେଟ୍ କରିବେ ନାହିଁ। ଓକେ, ନର୍ ଇଭେନ୍ ଦ ଇଲେକ୍ଟେଡ୍ ମେମ୍ବର୍ସ। କିଏ କେବଳ ପାର୍ଟିସିପେଟ୍ କରିବ? ଓନ୍ଲି ଲୋକସଭା ଆଉ ରାଜ୍ୟସଭାର ଅଲ୍ ମେମ୍ବର୍ସ, ଇଲେକ୍ଟେଡ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ନୋମିନେଟେଡ୍। ଓକେ, ବୁଝିଲ? This is the difference you have to remember कि in his impeachment procedure all the nominated members of the house, of both the house, will participate. Okay, the elected members of legislative assemblies of state and union territories of Delhi and Puducherry do not participate in the impeachment procedure. Okay, तो ये दी जन इलेक्शन रे पार्टिसिपेट करिवे। इलेक्शन रे मन रखो ओनली इलेक्टेड मेंबर्स विल पार्टिसिपेट। ओके, ऑफ लोकसभा, ऑफ राज्यसभा and of states and of union territories, but in impeachment only the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members will participate. Okay, both elected and nominated, but not the state, I mean elected members of the states and union territories. Okay, and this also, you know, this is कि no president has been impeached so far in India. Okay, then this is the removal procedure. Okay, impeachment is the removal procedure, but apart from removal also there are some conditions where the president's post can be vacant. Okay, so these are the conditions. How? If on the expiry of his tenure of 5 years, for example, April 1 2025 रे प्रेसिडेंट करो टेन्यूर एंड हो गला। ओके, आउ प्रेसिडेंट रो इलेक्शन हेइनी, सो कौन हम से केस रे पोस्ट वैकेंट हम बाय रेजिग्नेशन। ओके, इफ ही रिजाइन्स देन आल्सो पोस्ट वैकेंट हम ऑन हिज रिमूवल बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ इम्पीचमेंट, एडे भी रिमूव हम बाय डेथ, जदि से डेथ करि गले ताहले रिमूव माने वैकेंट हम। अदरवाइज फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेन ही बिकम्स disqualified to hold the office when his election is declared void. Okay, so these are the conditions. When the vacancy is going to be caused by expiration of the term of the sitting president, an election to fill the vacancy must be held before the expiration of his terms माने जदि तांकर टर्म एक्सपायर हे जाउची ओके तार आगुरु तुमको इलेक्शन करिकी तुमको तांकर पोस्ट को फिल करियार अछि ओके in case of delay in conducting the election of the new president by the any reason the outgoing president continue to hold the office beyond his term of 5 years until his successor assumes the charges okay this is provided by the constitution itself in this situation the vice president does not get the opportunity to act as a president a case re vice president को president करा okay but if the office falls vacant by resignation if the president resigned okay by writing to the vice president or if he is removed or if he is died okay or otherwise apart from resignation okay sorry apart from the what expiration of his terms if the post is vacant by any means then what will happen the vice president will uh, declared as president okay the vice president discharges his functions until the president resumes his office okay apart from expiration जदि आप कौनसी way रे भी president रो post vacant ହେଲା then vice president will discharge the functions of the president until the president new president resumes his office okay only if the term is expired and no other president is elected then the current president will continue okay apart from that any other where jodi post vacant hochi then vice president will continue the post of the president okay and discharge his duties then powers and functions okay all these are similar for governor also okay only few differences but otherwise all these are similar powers हम देखिबा there are few powers सब power मु तुमको explain करिविनी okay you will read like executive power there are very I mean simple things you एड़ा सब तो निजे निजे पढ़ी दबो okay he can make rules satisfying the manner in which the order and other instrument made and executed in the name of president okay he can make rules for more convenient transaction of business in the house okay all these are executive power only important things we will read okay we will go through तो तांकर कौन पावर अच्छी एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर अच्छी लेजिस्लेटिव पावर भी अच्छी कौन लेजिस्लेटिव पावर जो भी बिल रो फाइनल सिग्नेचर इट विल बी बाय द प्रेसिडेंट ओके फाइनल सिग्नेचर जहाँ कहते आम प्रेसिडेंट्स एसेंट ओके कले ही सेटा एक्ट रे परिणत हम बिलटा तो फाइनल सिग्नेचर विल बी बाय द प्रेसिडेंट सेटा हूँ तांकर लेजिस्लेटिव पावर ओके देन समवन करिवे सेशन को प्रोरोग करिवे ओके एटा सब तांकर पावर देन फाइनेंशियल पावर मनी बिल तांकर बिना परमिशन रे इंट्रोड्यूस हबनी ओके देन जुडिशियल पावर यू नो दैट पार्डनिंग पावर रेमिशन ओके ऑल दिस थिंग्स देन डिप्लोमेटिक पावर तांको नारे ही किछि भी आमे जो एग्रीमेंट्स वगैरह करूछन ना देश मान सहित सब किछ तांको नारे साइन हुए देन मिलिट्री पावर ही इज द हेड ऑफ द मिलिट्री ओके आर्मी एयर फोर्स एंड नेवी देन इमरजेंसी पावर ओके इमरजेंसी टाइम रे प्रेसिडेंट रूल जाको हम कहउछंती ओके सो दीज आर हिज पावर्स वन बाय वन विल सी जोटा जोटा इंपोर्टेंट मु कहबी तुमको हला एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर कोन अछि पावर्स एंड फंक्शंस एग्जीक्यूटिव you will read all these things only thing is the important one I will tell okay all the executive actions of the government of India are formally taken in his name okay ସବୁଥିରେ ପ୍ରାଇମ ମିନିଷ୍ଟର ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟର ହେଡ୍ but the signature will be by the president okay any kind of law is formulated or any agreement is signed okay all the executive actions of the government of India are signed by the president okay is formally taken in his name then he appoints the prime minister you know he appoints the prime minister and with his direction he appoints the other council of ministers also okay and prime minister holds office during his pleasure pleasure means you just are meaning hochi ki he can be removed by the president at any time irrespective of his tenure he can be removed by the president okay this is nothing but pleasure of president jago am kochon okay so prime minister is appointed by the president and he can be removed by the president at any time that means he holds office during his pleasure then attorney general को से appoint करंती attorney general also holds office during the pleasure of president means he can be removed by the president at any time okay then he appoints CAG controller and auditor general of India he appoints the election commissioners okay and chief election commissioner also then chairman and members of UPSC, okay, governors of the state, finance commission, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ president appoint କରନ୍ତି. These are all his executive functions. Okay, all the appointments are the executive functions of the president. Okay, then he can seek information. So easy ତମେ ଦେଖିବ. Okay, he can require the prime minister to submit and council of minister. Then he appoints the commission to investigate the condition of SC, ST and other backward class. He appoints the interstate council. Okay, and he directs the administrators of the union territories. Okay, जो for example in ଆମର ଅଛି ଲାକ୍ଷାଦ୍ୱୀପ. Okay, ତ ସେଇଠି କ'ଣ କରନ୍ତି? He directs the administrators of the union territories through administrators appointed by him. Okay, ତାଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା जो लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर या administrator appoint हुଅନ୍ତି, through him he administer the union territories. Okay, he declare any area as scheduled area and administration of scheduled areas and tribal areas. Okay, so these are his executive functions. Then legislative re kono anything any act which is happening in parliament. Okay, any act or any जो जोड़ा भी पार्लियामेंट रे होची पार्लियामेंट रिलेटेड होची सेडा होची तांकर सब लेजिस्लेटिव पावर. ओके, प्रेसिडेंट एडा गोटे मन रख, इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपोर्टेंट पॉइंट कि प्रेसिडेंट इज द इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ पार्लियामेंट. ओके, पार्लियामेंट बोले हम भाबुछन केवल लोकसभा राज्यसभा. Okay, but you remember कि president is also integral part of the parliament. Okay, because जेमती कहली कि final signature in any bill will be by the president. Okay, without his assent no bill will become an act. Okay, that is why he is an integral part of the parliament. He summons the parliament, he prorogues the parliament. Okay, he presents the budget, he addresses the first session of the parliament. All these things are done by the president. That's why he is the integral part of the parliament. Okay, he summons, he prorogue. Okay, summon माने जो डाकिवा और prorogue माने end करवा. Okay, the parliament and dissolve the Lok Sabha. He also dissolves the Lok Sabha. He summons a joint sitting. Okay, he addresses the parliament at the commencement of the first session. माने एबे जो नुआ सरकार बनिला first session को address करिवे president. Okay, after each general election also से first address करिवे, प्रति वर्षर फास्ट सेशन को भी से एड्रेस करेंगे. ओके, देन he can appoint any member of Lok Sabha to preside over its proceedings. Okay, if there is a vacant of speaker or deputy speaker तो सी appoint करेंगे जन को. ओके, चेयर रे बसिया पई सेमतिया राज्यसभा रे भी. ओके, he nominates 12 members to राज्यसभा. Okay, that you know. Disqualification he decides the disqualification of members. Okay, in the parliament in consultation with election commission. एटा मन रख, there are two kinds of disqualification. Okay, गोटे होची anti defection आ गोटे होची normal disqualification. Okay, एटा को decide करंती president, एटा को decide करंती speaker. Okay, if a member is disqualified from in the process of anti-defection, then speaker is the final authority. If he is disqualified in some other means, for example, election रे किछि घपलाती करिछि या तो nomination file रे किछि गोटे भूलभाल करिकि जिति आइछि. ओके, से केस रे जो जने डिस्क्वालिफाई होउछि, then it will be decided by the president in consultation with election commission of India. Okay, so question रे मार्क करिवो कि disqualification को थ्रू रे लिखा आइछि. जदि लिखा आइछि कि से क्वेश्चन पचारुछि disqualification from anti-defection procedure, then speaker will be the authority. Okay, if there is a normal disqualification because of some kind of malpractice or something by a member, then the disqualification will be done by the president. Okay, in consultation with the election commission of India. Okay, because election commission तांको report दबो कि ए लोको ए भला malpractice करी कि election जीतिछि आकु disqualify करियार अछि. Okay, like disproportionate asset case. Okay, तो जो भी मैनर हैला तो president will disqualify, right? then जो bill तांको पठाबो. Okay, his prior recommendation or permission is needed to introduce certain type of bills. एटा भी legislative power जो तुम कहथिली bill रे final signature करिवे सी. Okay, so this is a legislative power. The prior recommendation or permission is needed to introduce certain type of bills in the parliament. For example, a bill involving expenditure from the consolidated fund of India. This is nothing but the money bill. ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ମନି ବିଲ୍। Money bill without prior recommendation of president cannot be introduced in the parliament. Okay, so ଏଇଟା ହିଁ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି କି prior to recommendation or permission of is needed to introduce certain type of bills in the parliament. This is nothing but the money bill. Okay, and in terms of bill, he has certain powers. Okay, when a bill is sent to the president after it has been passed by the parliament, he has three four what power. Okay, one is to give assent to the bill. Assent is nothing but permission. He signs and the bill becomes an act. Okay, first is he can assent the bill. Second is he can withhold the assent to the bills. Mane se debbeni. Okay, bill ko permission. Third is he can return the bill to the parliament again. Ki I am not agree. I am not agree with this bill, or there are certain disputes. He will return the bill to the parliament to reconsider. Okay, so if the bill is passed again, but a case रे कौन हबो सी रिटर्न कर देबे बिल पार्लियामेंट, बट जदि बिल पुणी पार्लियामेंट रे पास हेक आसिला, then he has no choice but he can but to give the assent to the bill. Okay, जदि बिल रिटर्न पुणी पास हेक पार्लियामेंट रे आसिला, then president must give his assent to the bill. Okay, so तीन चारटा तांका पाखरे पावर अछि. If a bill is presented to the president, he can give assent, means he can give permission. He can withhold the assent. He is withholding the permission. He can return the bill to the parliament. Okay, but if the bill is again passed in the parliament and comes to the president, he has to give his assent. He has to give his permission. Okay, then in terms of state legislature also, certain bills can be resolved by the governor. Okay, for the president. Okay, governor जो चाहिए किसीटा बिल जोड़ा कि तांको लागिवो जोड़ा प्रेसिडेंट रो परमिशन ପାଇଁ दरकार, या तो किसीटा मनी बिल अछि. Okay, he can reserve those bills. Okay, for the president, for the consideration of the president. Okay, सेठी भी कोन होई परिबो, सी तांको असेंट देई परिबे प्रेसिडेंट चाहिए, असेंट को विथहोल्ड भी करि परिबे, परमिशन देई परिबे, चाहिए विथहोल्ड करि परिबे, and direct the governor to return the bill to the state legislature. Okay, but it गोटे डिफरेंस कोन in terms of state bill. State bill जदि पुणी भी पास है कि आउ थे प्रेसिडेंट पाखु आसिला गवर्नर द्वारा, then also president is not bound to give assent to the bill. Okay, in case of parliament, if the bill is returned to the president again, he has to give his assent. In terms of state legislature, if the bill is again passed and comes to the president, he is not bound to give his assent to the bill. Correct, এটা হচ্ছে গোটে ডিফরেন্স মনে রাখিব. Okay, then ordinance he can promulgate, okay, president can promulgate ordinance when there is either there is no session of the parliament. Okay, either of the session is if there is no either Lok Sabha is not there or Rajya Sabha is not there. Okay, okay, or both the houses are not there, session is not going on, then he can promulgate ordinance. Okay, then he plays the report of CAG, Finance Commission, Public Service Commission. Okay, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର bill କୁ ସିଏ present କରନ୍ତି parliament ରେ. Okay, he places the report of all the CAG, Finance Commission, Civil Service Commission. Okay, all this in parliament. Then financial powers. Okay, ଆମେ ଦିଟା ପଢିଲେ executive power ମାନେ all the kind of appointments and all. Okay, ସେଟା ହଉଛି executive power. All the things related to parliament. Okay, bill pass करिया हला, report present करिया हला, money bill related हला. Okay, and all these things are his legislative powers. Okay, then we will see the financial powers. कौन financial power? Money bill can be introduced by in the parliament only with his prior recommendation. କହିଲି, without prior recommendation of the president, money bill cannot be introduced in the parliament. This is very very important, you remember. Okay, ordinary bill ପାଇଁ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, constitution amendment bill ପାଇଁ ବି ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ. Only in terms of money bill, president's prior recommendation is required. Okay, second, he causes to be laid before the parliament the annual financial statement, that is budget. Okay, union budget is actually presented by the president but read by the finance minister. Okay, actually पढ़ंती किए finance minister, आज ही काली ही ना budget present ହେଇଛି. Okay, it is read by the finance minister actually, but constitutionally it is laid before the parliament by president. Okay, then no demand for grants can be made except on his recommendation. What is demand for grants? We'll see. Okay, when we will read parliament chapter, without prior recommendation of the president किछि भी तमे demand for grants କରିପାରିବନି, any grants. Okay, you cannot demand any grants in the parliament. Then जोड़ा हमर contingency fund अछि. Okay, you know this contingency fund means it is a kind of emergency fund. Okay, कोठे बन्या बात्या हला किछि फ्लड हला एई contingency fund रू पैसा दिया जाय. Okay, this is a kind of emergency fund. Okay, तो ताकू भी ସେଇଠୁ ବି ତମେ ଯାହା ବି ପଇସା କାଢିବ ଆଡଭାନ୍ସ କରିବ ବାହାର କରିବ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିବ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ତମକୁ ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟର ରେକମେଣ୍ଡେସନ ଦରକାର. ଓକେ, he only make advances. Then he continues a finance, constitutes a finance commission after every 5 years. Okay, जो प्रति 5 वर्ष रे फाइनेंस कमिशन तैयारी हुए ताकू किए कन्स्टिट्यूट करंती, प्रेसिडेंट कन्स्टिट्यूट करंती. ओके, एबे हमर केते नंबर फाइनेंस कमिशन चलछि की कहि परिबो? केते
16th
नंबर फाइनेंस
Finance
कमिशन
Commission.
चलछि?
16th Finance Commission.
किए तार चेयरमैन? Nice,
Sir
you have
Arvind
taken that,
Pangadia.
very important. NK Singh,
Sir
किए कहूछि
Arvind
NK Singh, किए
Pangadia,
कहूछि पणगरिया.
ex-chairman of Niti Aayog.
Hmm? Okay, ex vice chairman of Niti Aayog. Huh? Now he is the chairman of 16th Finance Commission. Correct? Okay. Then judicial power. Okay, I'm going to executive, legislative, finance. Now judicial power. Okay, the judicial power and function of the president are कौन judicial power ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ? He appoints the chief justice and the judges of Supreme Court and the High Courts. Okay, ସେ କାହାକୁ appoint କରନ୍ତି? Chief Justice, Judge, Supreme Court ର High Court ର. Okay, is appointed by the president. Then he seek advice from the Supreme Court. Okay, in any question related to law or fact. Okay, but the advice tendered by the Supreme Court is not binding. एटा भी मन रखियो, this is also important. Okay, when he seek any advice from the Supreme Court or High Court, the advice given to the president is not binding on the president. Okay, and appointment of judges is also done by the president. This is also important. He can grant pardon, reprieve, respite, remission of any punishment or suspend or remit or commute the sentence. Okay, this he can do for any kind of cases. Okay, this pardoning power, reprieve power, respite power, all this power he has for all the cases. That means the case, if the case is from any kind of court martial or it is against any union law or any sentence of death. Okay, ସବୁ case ରେ ସିଏ ଚାହିଁଲେ pardon କରିପାରିବେ, ସିଏ ଚାହିଁଲେ ତମର କମେଇ ପାରିବେ ତମର ଯୋଉ punishment ଟାକୁ, ସିଏ ଚାହିଁଲେ intensity ଟାକୁ କମେଇ ପାରିବେ, time period को कमी परिवे. Okay, any special case consider करी परिवे. He can do for any case, but this is the difference when we will study governor. Okay, तांको पाखरे एते जागा power नाही, देखिबा हमें. Then diplomatic power, international जते treaty अछि. Okay, all treaties and all are negotiated in his name. Okay, subject to the approval of parliament. Okay, parliament ताको finally approve करिवो, but concluded in the name of the president. Okay, then military power, he is the supreme commander of army, navy and air force. Okay, this you know. Then emergency power, emergency re we have studied. Okay, national emergency, president rule and financial emergency. ଏଥିରେ president ର role କଣ ଆମେ already ପଢିଥିଲେ କାଲି. Okay, so no need to study again. Then veto power of the president, ଏଇଟା just ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଏଠି ମନେ ରଖିବାର ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଟା ହିଁ ଆମେ ପଢିଲେ କି ଗୋଟେ ବିଲ୍ ଯଦି ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ପାଖକୁ ଆସୁଛି ଅଣ୍ଡର ଆର୍ଟିକଲ 1111, he has certain power. Okay, ଗୋଟେ ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କହିଲି he can give assent, means he can give permission and sign the bill. Okay, and the bill becomes an act. Second is he may withhold the assent to the bill. Okay, he is telling that I will not sign, I am withholding my agreement, okay, to the bill. Third is he can return the bill for reconsideration. Okay, not the money bill. Money bill cannot be returned, but if it is an ordinary bill, he can return the bill for reconsideration. And if the bill is again coming to the president, he has to give his sign. Okay, assent. This is three conditions. Okay, ତାକୁ ହିଁ ଆମେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଭେଟୋ ପାୱାର. ଭେଟୋ ପାୱାର ମାନେ କ'ଣ? कि president has these three vetoes. Okay, in India president does not have this veto. देखो हम जोड़ा पढ़िले absolute veto माने कौन? He is withholding his assent to the bill which is passed by the legislature. से कहउछन जे मु एग्री नुह मु साइन करिविनी. Okay, absolute veto, he has this power. Second कौन हम पढ़िबा suspensive veto जोटा कि हम पढ़ले if the bill is again let's say he returned the bill to the parliament. If the bill is again passed in the parliament and coming to the president, he has to give his assent. Okay, this is called a suspensive veto. Means the assent, I mean the withhold of ascending power, I mean ସେ ଯୋଉଟାକୁ permission ଦେଲେନି, which is overridden by the legislature. Okay, he said I will withhold my assent and I will not give permission, but it is overridden by the legislature. Okay, by an only this same ordinary majority, simple majority, but he has to give his signature in the second time. Okay, this is called suspensive veto. Third veto kono pocket veto. He is taking no action on the bill passed by the legislature. See kichi sign korunanti kichi korunanti bill upare kichi action hi nounanti. This is called as pocket veto. Okay, ये तीनटा हमरो Indian president को available अच्छी veto power. There is a fourth veto power which is called as qualified veto. This is available to American president but not to Indian president. এটা কোন? If let's say president is returning a bill to the parliament. Okay. Second time रे कोन हबो? If the bill is passed by the parliament with a higher majority than the first time. Okay, first time ଯେତିକି majority ରେ bill pass ହେଇଥିଲା ତାଠୁ ଯଦି ଅଧିକ majority ରେ second time bill pass ହବ then only the president will sign. This is called as qualified veto. Okay, this power is available to American president. American president रे पाखरे किछि power अछि कोन? There are certain bills, if the president return the bill to the American Congress, that bill has to be returned to the president with a higher majority. Okay, then only the president will sign. But in India this case is not available. Okay, there are only three veto powers. Okay, absolute veto power, suspensive veto power and pocket veto power. These three veto power is only available to the president. Okay, ऐसे ही लिखा है president of India is vested with three absolute veto, suspensive veto and pocket veto. Okay, qualified veto power is not available. No qualified veto power in the case of Indian president. Correct? तो से ही एक्सप्लेन ହେଇଛି whatever I have explained. Absolute veto माने कौन? Okay, suspensive veto माने कौन? And they have given some example. Okay, and pocket veto माने कौन? तो meaning बुझिलो? Absolute माने कौन? Means he withhold the assent to the bill. Suspensive veto माने if he returns the bill to the parliament and the bill again comes back to the president with a simple majority, the president must give his assent to the bill. This is suspensive veto power. Then pocket veto means bill comes to the president, president does not take any action. Okay, he is neither telling ki I will give assent, he is nor telling I will withhold my assent. He is not at all taking any action. Okay, then state legislature will be same veto power he has. Okay, he may give his assent, he may withhold. Okay, and the bill if returns, it gote khali difference. If the bill returns, the president is not I mean what, it is not mandatory for the president to give his assent to the bill. Okay, एटा तुम देखिदब. Okay, with regard to ordinary bill simple लिखा है can be ratified. Okay, state legislation भी can be ratified, can be rejected and can be returned. Okay, एटा होची giving his assent, सेटा होची ratified. Rejected माने withholding his assent, returned माने से जो return कर दे bill. एटा state रा bill को भी central bill को भी. Okay, in terms of money bill cannot be returned. Okay, either it can be ratified or rejected, it cannot be returned. Okay, and constitutional amendment bill रे भी it can only be returned. Constitutional amendment bill मन रखो, it cannot be rejected or it cannot be returned also. Okay, constitutional amendment bill जदि president पाखु जाउची, he has to give his assent. He cannot return the bill or he cannot reject the bill also. Okay, and constitutional amendment bill तो तुम जानिछो एटा state legislature रू initiate हेई परिबो नाही. Constitutional amendment bill can only introduce in the parliament. Okay, ଏଇଟା ଆମେ ପଢ଼ିଥିଲେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପ୍ରୋସିଜର ପଢ଼ିଥିଲେ କନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନାଲ amendment bill ର. Okay, then same thing ଏଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି. Okay, ordinance making power, this simply I am telling you it is a article ଟା ମନେ ରଖ 123 article. Okay, ordinance making power president ର କେତେବେଳେ ଆସେ when there is a either of the session is not there or both the sessions are not there. Okay, ଯେତେବେଳେ ନାହିଁ ସେତେବେଳେ to face the emergency situation. Okay, this ordinance making power is there. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ମନେ ରଖିଥାଅ, this ordinance ଆସିଛି ଆମର ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ ଆକ୍ଟ 1935 ଅଣାଇଛି ଆମର କନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନକୁ. ଓକେ, ଅର୍ଡିନାନ୍ସ ମେକିଂ ପାୱାର ଯେଉଁ ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି. ବାକି ଏଥିରେ ଆଉ କିଛି ସ୍ପେସିଫିକ୍ ଲେଖା ହେଇନି, ଯାହା ବସ୍ ତମେ ମିନିଂ ବୁଝ ଯେ କ'ଣ କଣ୍ଡିସନରେ ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ଆଣିପାରିବେ ଅର୍ଡିନାନ୍ସ. ଓକେ, ଅଲ୍ ଦିଜ୍ ଆର୍ ଜଷ୍ଟ ଷ୍ଟୋରି. ଦେନ୍ ପାର୍ଡନିଂ ପାୱାର ଅଫ୍ ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ, ଏଇଟା ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ବୁଝେଇଲି. ଏଇଟା ବି ଆର୍ଟିକଲ ମନେ ରଖ 72. ଓକେ, and president has the pardoning power in all the case. Okay, death and court martial. Okay, कौन खाली मीनिंग टिके बुझीदबा, व्हाट इज पार्डन, व्हाट इज कम्यूशन, व्हाट इज रेमिशन, रिस्पाइट एंड रिप्राइव. मैं तुमको सिंपल बुझेबी सो दैट विल बी इजी टू रिमेंबर. ओके, दीज आर द पार्डनिंग पावर्स ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट. ओके, ସବୁ କେସ୍ରେ ସେ ପାର୍ଡନ କରିପାରିବେ. ପନିଶମେଣ୍ଟ which is against union law, which is court martial. In case of court martial, your governor cannot give has the pardoning power. Okay, in case of death sentence, governor does not have the pardoning power. Okay, only president has the pardoning power. Pardoning माने जणु क्षमा कर दबा, pardon. Okay, this death case रे और military court वाला case रे. Okay, this pardoning power is only with the president and not with the governor. Okay, so our meaning बुझ दो, what is the meaning of pardon, what is the meaning of commutation. Okay, pardon means remove both the sentence and the conviction and completely absolves the convict. Okay, for example तुमको कहूँ एबे जो राजीव गांधी रो कन्विक्ट थिले. Okay, राजीव गांधी को जो माने मारी छन तांगर जो कन्विक्ट थिले से माने अप्लाई करिसंती, तमिलनाडु गवर्नमेंट अप्लाई करछि कि एमान को पार्डन कर दिया जाऊ because they have served enough years of sentence. Okay, तो तांको completely दोषमुक्त कर दिया जाऊ, माने से 20-25 वर्ष ऑलरेडी जेल रही सारलेनी, तांको गवर्नमेंट अपील करूछि जे आंको completely दोषमुक्त करके छाड़ दिया जाऊ. That is called as pardon. Removes both the sentence and the conviction. Okay, तांको केते वर्ष जेल हितला ताको भी छाड़ा हो, तांकर conviction माने से जो दोषी पाइतिले तांको भी completely दोषमुक्त तांको कर दिया जाऊ. Okay, that is called as pardoning power. Okay, this power is only with president, not with governor. Just remember, governor आमे काली पढ़िया. Okay, आज टाइम हे गला गवर्नर को जस्ट अल्प समय रे आमे गवर्नर पढ़ देबा काली. Okay, सेकंड होची कम्यूशन. कम्यूशन कोन? It denotes the substitution of one form of punishment for a lighter form. माने धर तुमको rigorous imprisonment कराइछ. Okay, ताकू प्रेसिडेंट चाहिए सिंपल इम्प्रिजनमेंट रे कन्वर्ट कर दे पारिबे. ओके, सो गोटे फॉर्म रो पनिशमेंट को तुम टिके लाइटर फॉर्म को आन देलो. ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज कम्यूशन. जस्ट रिमेंबर कि रिगरस इम्प्रिजनमेंट को सिंपल इम्प्रिजनमेंट कर देले, माने कोन करले इंटेंसिटी टा कमे देले. तमर जो पनिशमेंट रो इंटेंसिटी टा को चाहिए से कमे पारिबे. ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज कम्यूटेशन. Okay, third is remission. Remission माने reducing the period of sentence without changing its character. Okay, माने तुमको 6 वर्ष जेल हेची, से चाहिए सेटा को 3 वर्ष जेल कर देबे. हैला सेम जदी एडा रिगरस पनिशमेंट थिला, एडा भी रिगरस पनिशमेंट. जदी एडा सिंपल पनिशमेंट थिला, एडा भी सिंपल पनिशमेंट. ओनली थिंग इज ही हैज चेंज्ड द पीरियड. ओके, 6 वर्ष को 3 वर्ष कर देले, सेटा होची रेमिशन. ओके, तो कम्यूटेशन माने कोन? reducing the intensity. remission माने कोन? reducing the time. हला respite. तीनटा हम पढ़ले, गोटे होची pardoning माने completely तमरो conviction and punishment को से चाहिए everything will be resolved. Second is commutation, where intensity of your punishment will be reduced. Third is remission, where the time period of your punishment will be reduced. Fourth is respite. Respite money denotes awarding a lesser sentence in place of one originally awarded due to some special facts. Okay, for example, a lady is pregnant, ओके तो यहाँ गोटे स्पेशल केस ये केस रे कौन कराब तांकर पनिशमेंट को सी चाहिए टाइम भी कमे दे पारती ये टाइम एंड इंटेंसिटी बोथ ही कैन रिड्यूस ओके इन स्पेशल केस ओके फॉर एग्जांपल इज फिजिकल डिसेबिलिटी ओके और प्रेगनेंसी ऑफ ए वुमेन ओके जहाँ भी तो ये कौन है रेस्पेक्ट कौन है बोथ टाइम एंड इंटेंसिटी कैन बी रिड्यूस्ड ओके देन फिफ्थ इज रिप्राइव रिप्राइव माने सी तुम पनिशमेंट को स्टे करदेवे okay you will go through that punishment but after some time okay due to some special case your punishment execution of your sentence will be stayed okay এটা হল ফিফথ তো এই পাঁচটা তাଙ୍କ পাখରେ পাওয়ার ଅଛି when it comes to judicial power okay or you can say pardoning power ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି pardon he can completely resolve or remove your sentence second is commutation okay where he can reduce the intensity third is remission okay where he reduces the time fourth is respite means you just remember special case okay where both the time and intensity can be reduced last is reprieve where your punishment is stayed okay the execution of the sentence can be stayed by the president okay so हम सब गुड़ा पढ़ले तार एग्जीक्यूटिव पावर लेजिस्लेटिव पावर okay then judicial power then military power okay diplomatic power all the power of the president we have studied. Then what is the constitutional position of the parliament president okay parliament form of government amar achi you know president has been made only a nominal executive real executive is our prime minister okay this term you remember president is only the nominal executive real executive being the council of ministers headed by prime minister okay president has to exercise his power and functions with the aid and advice of the council of minister headed by prime minister nothing president will do without the advice of the council of minister okay everything that president does is by the aid and advice of council of ministers okay he cannot do anything without their advice okay so president as per constitution does not have any discretionary power means he cannot take any decision on his own okay there are very few they are called as situational discretions okay because of that situation he has the power to take decision without the advice of the council of ministers otherwise constitutionally president does not have any discretionary power okay but governor has some discretionary power that we will see tomorrow okay so in terms of his function or in terms of his position there are 2 3 articles you have to remember okay 53 74 75 no need to remember the name of the I mean the number of the articles just remember ki all the executive power of the union shall be vested in president okay and he shall be exercised by either directly or indirectly okay subordinate to him in accordance with the constitution এটা হচ্ছে 53 okay executive power ସବୁ ଗୁଡ଼ା vested ମାନେ କା ପାଖରେ ଅଛି president କୁ ଦିଆଯାଇଛି then there shall be a council of minister okay with the prime minister heading it at the head of it and they shall give aid and advice to the president who shall in the exercise of his functions act in accordance with such advice okay means everything president will do with the aid and advice of council of minister headed by prime minister that is article 74 okay and this is very very important you have to remember ki the council of ministers shall be collectively responsible to the lok sabha okay not to the parliament to the lok sabha okay remember the council of ministers shall be collectively responsible to the lok sabha that's it ଆଉ କିଛିଟା ଯୋଉ କହିଥିଲି ତମକୁ situational discretion okay he does not have any constitutional discretion but he has some situational discretion means if this situation arises then he can take certain decisions କଣ ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି situation କଣ appointment of prime minister when no party has a clear majority in the lok sabha or when the prime minister in the office dies suddenly and there is no obvious successor means ଯଦି ଏବେ କୋଉ ବି ପାର୍ଟିର full majority ଆସିନଥାନ୍ତା then he has the discretionary power to appoint somebody as the prime minister and asked him to prove his majority or if a president died okay for example when Indira Gandhi died president appointed Rajiv Gandhi as the prime minister okay this is his situational discretion Second, dismissal of the council of ministers when it cannot prove the confidence of the Lok Sabha. Okay, যদি council of minister cannot prove confidence, or if they are proved or they are defeated by no confidence motion, then he can dismiss the council of ministers. Okay, third case kono dissolution of the Lok Sabha if the council of minister has lost its majority. Okay, same case, no confidence motion is passed and they have lost the majority, then he can dissolve the Lok Sabha. Okay, these are the three discretionary power president has. Apart from that, he does not have any constitutional discretionary power, right? Then there are certain articles, just remember 3 4 article mu mark karichi hala. 67 you have to remember, Attorney General of India, because if there is a question on Attorney General of India, even in the mains, you start your introduction by mentioning the article number. Okay, ଯଦି କିଛି ବି क्वेश्चन आसी Attorney General of India ଉପରେ मेंस रे भी तमे आर्टिकल 76 ରୁ start करो तमर introduction. Okay, then union budget, this you have to remember, article 112. Okay, 123 ordinance power of president. Okay, then power of president to consult Supreme Court, this is 143. Okay, these are 3 4 important articles. Bas.